Hi, my name is Sinan Gable, and the last time we looked at establishing two portfolios. We established a spot portfolio and a futures portfolio, and today we will look at how we can utilize the spot portfolio in this prediction section. The spot portfolio consists of these 5 positions, and we have a position of £1,000. We have 2 ounces of gold. We have 10 shares in IBM, 10 shares in Tesla, and 10 shares in Novo Nordisk. We can close this section now and focus on the prediction section here. So if we click on this spot portfolio here, the system calculates, and we get a bar hierarchy diagram which shows in this case, a risk of at least 10% loss, and the risk is measured in percentage. So in this case it says that there's a 25.74% chance or risk of at least 10% loss, and we can see that on the pound sterling it's a very, very meager risk of 10% loss in our time horizon, which is in this case 30 days. We can, with the diagram bar hierarchy, we can also choose not to look at the figures, and we can see if we put our mouse pointer on one of the bars, we get a tooltip which shows us the percentages also. So this is an alternative way of seeing the numbers, but we can also choose to see the numbers, and now you can see the tooltip and the actual number revealed is the same, like that. We can also choose to look at the portfolios as one portfolio here. So now it's not calculating it per position, but it's calculating it per portfolio. In this case it's our spot portfolio. Now it's saying there's a 0.5% chance, 0.5% risk of at least 10% loss. And we could take another calculation measure and we could look at the chance of at least 10% profit, and there's a 1.5% chance of 10% profit. If we go back and change it to positions and look at another diagram, we can choose the histogram. Now the system calculates a histogram per position, because this is what we have selected up here. And our time horizon is 30 days still, and it's calculating the histogram based on our actual position. So for instance, the gold here, it's not 1 ounce of gold, but it's 2 ounces, because our position, which we can see if we open the portfolio here, you can see the gold spot here, we have an amount of 2. The histogram shows the percentage chance of different values, and in this case you can also use the mouse pointer, and a tooltip will reveal more details about each of these bars. So for instance, in this bar here, the yellowish bar here, orange, within a value of gold between $2,400 and $2,450, there's a 17 or nearly 18% chance of that occurring within the next 30 days. And generally the reddish colors are on the loss side and the bluish colors are on the profit side. So if we take another diagram, we could take the tree map. You can see we have these bluish colors here, so we are looking at the chance of at least 10% profit. And we can also select the rectangular subdivision instead. It looks like this. And if you want to look at the actual sizes, you can say the relative sizes between the squares reveal the differences between the positions. And if we click on one of the squares, it reveals the figure for that particular position. So in this case, the Tesla Motors has a 22.76% chance of at least 10% profit in 30 days. If we click again, we get the full tree, and we can also just put our mouse pointer on top of a square, and it reveals a tooltip that gives us further information. So the gold spot position has a 0.6% chance of at least 10% profit in 30 days. We can change this to looking at the risk. Now we get the reddish colors, and we see the gold has about 0.32% chance of a 10% loss in 30 days. If we change the time horizon to a longer time horizon, if we say we look at 12 months instead, you can see the squares change somewhat. And you can also see that now the chance or the risk of losing at least 10% in 30 days is, in 12 months is now 4.25%. The Tesla, on the other hand, has more than 50% chance of losing at least 10% in 1 year. We could also change this measure here and look at the risk of losing at least 50%. And here it's the Tesla share that is the dominating position, and we can see that it has a risk of at least 13% chance. We also have another diagram type called the circle pack, and here we can see that the Tesla is the most risky again, and again we can click on each of these circles to get more information, or we can also just put our mouse pointer on one of the circles, and again the tooltip reveals more information. So in this case, the pound sterling has a 4.15% chance of losing at least 10% in 1 year's time, or 12 months. If we change our base currency here to, let's say we are based in British pounds, then we can see that the position of the pounds, it disappeared. We can take another diagram here, take the bar hierarchy, and if we look at the risk of losing at least 10% in 12 months, then we can see for the pound sterling it's 0. And we can also see, if we look at today's values, you can see that the pound sterling has a value of 1,000 pounds, because now we changed the base currency to pounds, and that's because there's no risk on this position when we have a base currency in pounds. If we go back to the dollar base currency, you see that now we have just a minute. Now we get a risk again on the pound sterling, and that's because we have now a risk on the difference between dollar pound FX rate. That's it.